Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class, and we'll be speaking from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 5, verse 87 through 89. And the chapter is entitled The Glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram. and we are approaching Balaram Jayanti, which is about, a few weeks away. So this is a perfect time to discuss this topic. And we are very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shri Prabhupada and all glories to you, Maharaj.
Haribol, glories to Prabhupada.
Hey, Maharaj.
Coming up. Yeah. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda Tad Tare Etam Mishanam Isaya Prakriti Stopi Tad Gunai Na Yujyate Sadatmastire Yatabuddhis Tad Asraya. This is the opulence of the Lord. Although situated within the material nature, he is never affected by the modes of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and have fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of nature. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, verse 38.
Maharaj, do you want me to go to the verse or shall I go to the next text 88, Maharaj?
Next verse, 88.
Okay.
Etam mata gate heg puna. Wait a minute, just 1 minute. Etam mata giyate ha. Eya mata giyate ha puna puna kai. Sarvadanishvara tattva achinta shakti hoy. Thus, the Bhagavad Gita also states again and again that the absolute truth always possesses inconceivable power. Amitan jagate vasi jagat amate. Na ami jagate vasi nam ama jagate. Lord Krishna said, I am situated in this material world and the world rests on me. But at the same time, I'm not situated in the material world, nor does it rest in me in truth. Read that again. Go back. Lord Krishna, I am situated in the material world, and the world rests in me. But at the same time, I am not situated in the material world, nor does it rest in me in truth. Purport. Nothing in existence is possible unless energized by the will of the Lord. The entire manifested creation is therefore resting on the energy of the Lord. But no one should not presume that the material manifestation is identical with the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. A cloud may rest in the sky, but that doesn't mean that the sky and the cloud are one and the same. Similarly, the qualitative material nature and the products are never identical with the Lord. The tendency to lord it over material nature, Maya, cannot be a feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he descends to the material world, he maintains his transcendental nature, unaffected by the material qualities. In both the spiritual and material world, he is always the controller of all energies. The uncontaminated spiritual nature always exists within him. The Lord appears and disappears in the material world in different features for his pastimes, yet he is the origin of all cosmic manifestations. Material manifestation cannot exist separate from the Lord, yet Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in spite of his connection with the material nature, cannot be subordinate to the nature's influence. His original form of eternal bliss and knowledge is never subordinate to the three qualities of material nature. This is the specific feature of the Lord's inconceivable potency. Umagyantimirandasya Gunadana Daksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Name Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Astyatya Desatarina Vanchikopaturubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vebhacha Nitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Vanchikopaturubhascha Kripa Sindhu Vebhacha Nitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Maharaj, I just apologize for interrupting, Maharaj. One devotee said that your voice sounds a little bit muffled, probably the microphone position.
Not my voice, it's me. How's that? Is that better?
Oh, I think it's much better. And Maharaj, could you increase the volume on your end if it's possible?
There's no way. The volume's completely up.
That's fine, Maharaj. Just, I'll tell the devotee to increase it on his side, but it's definitely much better. Thank you.
It's not my voice, it's me.
No, Maharaj, it's never you, Maharaj.
Well, you haven't heard the rest of the class yet.
I'll get ready, Maharaj.
All right. So, yeah. No, Krishna is in the material nature, but he's not in the material nature. Everything is situated on him, but it does not rest in him. Let's say at the same time. All contradictions, huh? Sounds contradictory. On one level it is, but if you take it to a more complete understanding, you'll see that this is the absolute truth and how he interacts with his material nature. He doesn't touch the material nature, but through his energies. Parasya Shakti Vidhaya Suyate Svabhaviki Jnana Kalapriyacha. He makes everything happen. He doesn't do it directly, he does it through his energies, but his energies are completely obedient to his will and work accordingly. So therefore, in one sense, everything is happening by him, but at the same time, it's happening through him and not directly. When he comes to the material world, but he doesn't touch the material world, although he appears to be within the material world, because his body is pure spirit, and material energy is jada, that's temporary, and it's always transient. So when we hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we find many contradictories. Therefore, explanations of the absolute truth are necessary to clear up all of these misunderstandings. There's a very nice verse in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, verse number 4. You could go to that, 9:4 Bhagavad Gita. Kind of illustrates this whole point here. Really good. I can't think of a better verse. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakti murti matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvadastiti avastiti. By me, in my unmanifested form, the entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So go down the page and let's see. You want to read a little bit? My voice is getting weak.
Yes, March. Shall I start from the Lord Sri Krishna's name?
Let's see. No, you can start for where it says, as we have discussed here. On the right-hand
Okay,
side.
got it. As we have discussed in the 7th chapter, the entire material cosmic manifestation is only a combination of its two different energies, the superior, the spiritual energy, and the inferior, the material energy. Just as the sunshine is spread all over the universe, the energy of the Lord is spread all over the creation, and everything is resting in that energy. Yet one, shall I continue, Maharaj?
Yeah, this is where it gets to the point.
Yet one should not conclude that because he spread all over, he has lost his personal existence. To refute such an argument, the Lord says, I am everywhere and everything is in me, but still I am aloof. For example, a king heads a government which is but the manifestation of the king's energy. The different governmental departments are nothing but the energies of the king, and each department is resting on the king's power. But still, one cannot expect the king to be present in every department personally. That is a crude example. Similarly, all the manifestations that we see and everything that exists, both in this material world and in the spiritual world, are resting on the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The creation takes place by the diffusion of his different energies, and as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vistam Vyaham Idam Krishnam. He is everywhere present by his personal representation, the diffusion of his different energies.
Yeah, so you can interpret this both he's personal and impersonal. The energies are impersonal and he is personal, but his energies are not different from him, so they're actually acting on the level of his instructions, which make those energies connected to him directly. But at the same time, if we try to use the energy separate from him, we create this dichotomy. And we try to separate the energies or enjoy the energies separate from him or use the energies in our own ideas. And what we have is that we cut the connection, at least in our consciousness, between the energy and the source. But the energy and the source can never be disconnected. It's just the consciousness is. And that's where we get that the Lord is simply not, he's not there, but at the same time, when he appears in the material world, then he's there. But still, because he is appearing in the material world, in order to do that, he has to take on the qualities of the material world, which he doesn't, because just like water and oil do not mix. But if you try to mix them, you put them together and then they separate all automatically. So in the same way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is within the creation, but aloof from the creation. He is non-different from the creation because from the absolute point of view, the energies and the source of energy is non-different, just like we say, the sun and the sunshine. So you can't say that the sunshine is not the sun. It is the sun. But it's not the actual globe of the sun, but it's still considered to be the sun. So in the same way, Krishna's energies are non-different than him, but at the same time, they're different. And this defeats the whole impersonal Mayavadi theory that God is just one, but God is one and different simultaneously. The simultaneously understanding is inconceivable by the conditioned mind. And therefore, they make distinctions. But on the absolute platform, everything is God, and his energies are not different to him, so they're also God. But at the same time, they're not him. Therefore, they're not God. So when we use the energies in the service of the Lord, then they connect back to the Lord. They become absolute, and they connect us with the Lord. And when the energies are not used in the service of the Lord, when used for our selfish interests, then we make this false dichotomy or disconnect, and we see that God has nothing to do with his energy, or if he does have anything to do with it, he lets us use it the way we want. So all of these misunderstandings of the absolute truth are there. That's why Jiva Goswami says it's inconceivable. He gives the principle achintya, which means it's beyond the range of our conceivable intelligence to understand, but we accept it based on principle. And we can see it working when we actually engage in devotional service, then all of this knowledge becomes easily understandable. But for the non-devotee, it's not, because they work it's either one way or the other. We say it's not only one way or the other, it's both ways. So this is you can go back to the verse. So this is the nature of the achintya principle, like that. So what does it have to do with us? Is that we've been given this material energy as a place of our inhabitants, as long as we live in the material body. So material body means material world. When you have a spiritual body, you're not in the material world. When you have a material body, when you're in the material world, you accept the material body. So to spiritualize the body means to engage it in devotional service, because devotional service brings that same energy, which is coming from the spiritual source, back to its original nature through the process of devotional service. There are many examples of that. Just like there are some people, great saints, who even after they died, their body didn't deteriorate, because their body actually became so spiritually surcharged that the normal material deterioration that happens to everyone doesn't happen to those who are electrified or spiritualized by pure spiritual energy. So the body, ultimately can also take on that. And there's a few examples of that. Couple examples in the Christian tradition, and in our tradition we have the example of many examples, but the one outstanding one is Ramanujacharya, where his body is still there in where is it? Srirangam? No, not Rangam, but Tirupati, I think. Yeah, Tirupati, not Tirupati. What is that place? With the 7 walls around the Srirangam. Okay, yeah, that's right, Srirangam. You can see his body. It looks like he's there. It's covered with resin, but you can see his personal form is very much there, and it's even vibrating. It's very powerful if you have that transcendental vision. Okay, so therefore our job is to take what we need to live in this world and use whatever we can to serve the Lord. And that way, not only our life becomes spiritual, but the energy that we use also takes on a spiritual nature. Just like it says, Lord Chaitanya gives the formula that Chaito Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahadirvagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kaiva Vichandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, Patipadam Purnamrita Swardanam, Sarvatma Snaparam Param. Right there, Sarvatma Snaparam Param. Sarvatma means all, and Swapanam in this case means bath. That means by chanting the holy name, all of everything that one connects with also becomes spiritualized. Your house, your possessions, everything, even though it's made of jada, it becomes spiritualized when it's connected with devotional service through the process of purifying that energy by dovetailing it as a service to the Lord, and especially when we chant the holy names of the Lord, everything we connect with. That's why they say, for those who are on that platform, every possession they have is sacred, because although it may seem to be something ordinary, it's not, because it's being used in a transcendental way. So if we want to be happy in Krishna consciousness, live according to your needs and use whatever else you have, including your mind, intelligence, your abilities, your resources, everything, in the service of the Lord. And then you'll always be happy, because you'll never be in want of need of anything. And at the same time, you'll be able to find happiness in using the ordinary to make it, what they say, extraordinary or superordinary. And that is Krishna consciousness. But if we don't have that consciousness, we don't see it that way, then even though we have it, we'll still think it's just, some ordinary thing. If you think ordinary, then it becomes that way. If you think this belongs to Krishna, it comes from his energy, it's spiritual, it's being used in devotional service, then you're seeing things as it is. Okay, so we can stop and see if we can have some questions.
Sure, Maharaj. I'm going to stop sharing, and if you can request devotees to please turn on your videos wherever possible, so that we can have each other's association. And if anyone has any questions, please do raise your hand, and I will call upon you in that order, or you can put it in the chat, and I'll be happy to read it. Marge, as you were speaking about this verse, Marge, I was trying my best, and I failed, to connect it with Balaram, Nityananda Balaram, because it sounds like the verse is speaking more of Krishna. And although we know that Lord, Balaram is the first expansion of the Lord, but how can we see the verse that you are referring to in Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says that I'm in it, but I'm aloof? And how can we see the glories of Lord Nityananda in that, Maharaj?
No, Lord Nityananda is Guru Tattva. Lord Nityananda, Lord Balaram are non-different. So that's why we say Nityananda Balaram. So everything in existence is coming from Balaram. The spiritual planets, the Vaikuntha planets, the material world, it's an all of an energy of Balaram. It emanates from the Supreme Lord, but it manifests through the Supreme Lord Balaram, who is non-different than Krishna. So that's his service. He actually becomes the energy also. Just like it says, Lord Balaram serves Lord the deity, or Lord Krishna, by becoming his umbrella, his shoes, his bedstead, his clothing, even in some cases, not all cases, his jewelry. These are non-different than Balaram. Mridanga is non-different than Balaram. But we see it differently, and therefore we don't have that understanding. The understanding comes when you use it in the service of the Lord. So, yeah, you can't say just because his name's not mentioned, he's not there. He's mentioned by his functions, his service to the Supreme Lord Krishna himself as he manifests as everything. The whole creation expands from Balaram. The whole principle of Guru is the tattva or the knowledge given by Lord Balaram. This is all understood in this chapter is quite philosophical, and you'll get some purports that are quite difficult to understand, even by if you read it over and over, because it's technical. It's spiritual technology. Therefore, you have to try to understand it in relationship to other verses that you hear from Bhagavad Gita, verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, verses from the Puranas, which simplify or explain these things in a more easily understandable way. But Prabhupada's purports are really powerful in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can't match these purports anywhere. They're really deep.
Very deep, Maharaj, absolutely. And I think, Maharaj, when you were saying that even if we read it over and over and over again, we're not going to get it. And I think that's when we really need to reach out to devotees, senior devotees, gurus, to really get the real understanding.
So anyway, Anasuya, Krishna just fulfilled your wish. Yeah,
Yes.
Nityananda Balaram just appeared with his camera on. So
Maharaj, as I was as I was actually going down, I said, wow, we're speaking on the glories of Lord Nityananda Balaram, and that's a devotee named Nityananda Balaram. Wow, this is like amazing.
well, that's just to make you happy.
Thank you, Maharaj, because it was so nice to see the chapter and the devotee, the das of the devotee appearing. So nice, Maharaj. Thank
Good.
you, Maharaj.
Uh,
Shivakumar Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dandavad Pranams. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, from today's class, while we are on the topic of Lord being both being part and involved, at the same time being aloof from the material world, there is a sloka in 13th chapter, Maharaj, in Bhagavad Gita 13, chapter 32, 32nd sloka, where it says, although the soul is in touch with the material world, it is neither entangled nor it does anything. And there is also this sloka from 10th canto in Brahma's prayers, where it says both the conception of both the bondage and liberation are both manifestations of ignorance. So how
right.
do we understand these slokas?
Yeah, it's easy. The soul never touches the material energy, but because it works through the mind is conditioned and makes it think it's entangled, and makes it think, and it acts in the same way according to the nature of the mind and the senses. But the soul never touches the material energy, nor there's any question of liberation, because the soul is already liberated, because it has nothing to do with the material energy. It's like, what's an example with, trying to think of an example of something that's connected with something, but has nothing to do with it at the same time. Well, I used to, but spirit and matter are two different energies, and they don't mix. Just like you're situated in this body, when this body stops functioning, it doesn't affect you. You just go somewhere else, that's all. It's like if you walk out of the house, doesn't mean the house doesn't exist, and it doesn't mean you don't exist anymore. You only exist in the house. No, you can exist. The soul can exist everywhere, and the soul is by nature free from any, what we say, entanglement of material energy because it doesn't touch material energy. But the Maya illusion convinces the soul that they're this body, and therefore the entanglement comes on the mental platform. That's all. So we think we are part of this material energy, which we're not, and we think we're affected by the material energy, which we are, as long as we identify with it. But that identification is so deep that it's conditioned, and we've created this idea that what happens to the body happens to me, but it doesn't. The energy of the electrical energy will go through the wire, but the electrical energy is not doesn't, in one sense, is different from the wire. But the wire is the medium. So our medium to live in this world is the body, but it has nothing to do with us. That's all. But we've accepted it that way, and therefore that's called entanglement. We're entangled. It's an illusion. The whole idea of anything material is illusion. You're not that body. You're a pure spirit soul who exists within the body. The family members, friends, and everything you have is simply part of the extensions of the body. That's all. If you didn't have that body, none of these things would be there.
Maharaj, just one follow-up question, Maharaj. Well, we understand in absolute sense this is true. Is it something that a soul who is not self-realized yet, can he also take this stand, Maharaj? Would it be right to say that he is also not entangled? There is no bondage for a soul who is yet to be self-realized?
He can say it, but he better be acting it also. Anybody can say anything. But he has to act. Otherwise, saying is not the actual reality. It's what you're actually doing, what you're actually desiring. You can say you're Prime Minister Modi, but no one will believe you. Because you're not. So but if you were in a position of his position, then you would be Prime Minister Shiva Kumar. So you'd be in a position of Prime Minister. So but to think you're the Prime Minister without being in there is just farcical. So you can think that you're this way, but you better be acting in that way. People think that Napoleon, Jesus Christ, God. But none of them have that actual position.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. So, Marge, entanglement, because you mentioned this so nicely, that entanglement is basically when we identify our body with the soul to be one. That's why we're entangled.
Well, but even that's an illusion because you can't get entangled.
Yes.
You're entangled in the illusion of entanglement. because you're still functioning on the illusionary level. This whole material world's a dream. It's a fact. We're dreaming I'm a man, we're dreaming I'm a woman, we're dreaming I live in Harrisburg. Well, actually, Harrisburg's pretty good because it's not Harrisburg, it's Hattiesburg.
Harrisburg, yes, Maharaj, Harrisburg.
So all of these things we create based on the body and the mind, of course. But none of it's real. We're always with Krishna, and we never touch the material energy. But just like when you go to sleep, you forget who you are, but that doesn't mean you are different than who you are, even though you're not aware of it. You can go to sleep and dream you're something different, but it's simply a dream. So we're sleeping in this material energy, and we're thinking we're something that we're not. So therefore, the Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, Jeev Jago, Jeev Jago, Gaura Chanda Bole, Kota Nidra, Jayo Maya, Pisachira Bole. Wake up, sleeping soul, wake up. You're sleeping on the witch of Maya. She's sucking out your blood, and you like it.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you. Balvanita Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Nityananda. Another fascinating talk today, Maharaj. And I'm, of course, very interested in the metaphysics of everything. That was my interest when I was in college. And I find it so interesting that the absolute truth is presented as specifically breaking the Aristotelian law of non-contradiction, that two entities cannot be their opposites in the same way, in the same respect, at the same time. My question is, we're not really meant to fully understand that split, are we? That it specifically breaks the logical rules of material reality is sort of a proof of it. Yes. And that we can't understand.
What you have to break is the illusion that is driving you towards these activities. That's all. And then you eliminate that illusion by creating the reality through the process of bhakti, which cuts through the illusion and reveals your actual position in relationship to Krishna and your non-difference from the spiritual energy. So it's the illusion. It's all, Maya means illusion. So it appears to be one thing, but it's not. Sometimes you see a picture of a lady, and if you look at it in one angle, it looks like a young girl. And if you look at it again, the same picture from another angle, it looks like an old lady. So is it a young girl or an old lady? It's your perception. So we're perceiving that this material world is our home, or we have some connection with it, but we don't. We create the connection, that's all. We create the connection because we want to be the controller. We want to be the enjoyer. So in order to do that, you have to have your kingdom to control and enjoy. And that's your little world in your little place in this material world. We create our little kingdom to try and enjoy and try to control a little bit of the material energy so we can facilitate this idea that we want to enjoy. But we can't enjoy something that doesn't belong to us. So therefore, we get trapped into the struggle, and therefore we suffer because we're taking things that don't belong to us, or trying to use things for our own selfish interests that don't belong to us. Material world is Krishna's energy. He says it, Maya Dakshena Prakriti. It's my energy. Daiviyesha Gunamayi. So, yeah, so we're criminals. And we're getting punished because we don't acknowledge the real owner. But when we acknowledge the real owner, then we have to work in such a way as to return to that, to return everything that he's given it to us in this material world for his pleasure, and that's bhakti. That's all. Stop trying to enjoy this material world and engage in devotional service. That's all.
So simple, Maharaj. You make it so simple, Maharaj.
It's simple in one sense, but how to do that is not so simple. How to do that is a process. The process of following the instructions of the spiritual master and moving forward according to his direction, relinquishing those things that are detrimental to our spiritual advancement and accepting those things which are favorable. It's a science too. I mean, it's not so, it's very intricate, but I'm just explaining it simply. That's all.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Yeah, I mean, why do we write so many books about this, the same subject? Because it needs to be explained from different angles of vision.
I was going to say because we're just so hard-headed.
Well,
That too much.
that's there also. As Prabhupada said, I put everything in the first canto, when the rest of the Bhagavatam is just an expansion of the same philosophy, using different pastimes of Krishna and different ways to understand the same philosophy from different angles of vision. But the philosophy is all in the first canto. He said that. But for variety and for understanding, for expansion, the greater and for application, greater knowledge is needed, especially for application.
Hope that helped, Balwanitai Prabhu.
Well, it's just such a fascinating topic. I mean, you could continue forever. It would be still interesting. So thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you. Maya Prabhu, please go ahead. Maya, you're on mute. Okay, there you go.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada.
We meet again.
I had a question. So with the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 4, I'm still a bit confused with the whole idea of how, like the Lord, how we all dwell within him, but he doesn't dwell within us. Is that because some of us don't have the transcendental vision, or is it because we're not in loving devotional service, or?
Krishna's is speaking in a tricky way. What is he doing? He's trying to dismantle the idea of Mayavadi philosophy, who connect him with the material world. That's for destroying some misconception. That basically that verse to say that he's not there, he's in there, but at the same time he's not there. So he's in there in his energies, but he's not there in his personal form. Even though he comes in his personal form, still he's not there because he doesn't touch the material energy. That's a dismantling statement just to bewilder to bewilder the Mayavadis. That's all. and the impersonalists.
That makes so much more sense. Thank you, Marge. That really confused me for a long, long time, for a few years now, but I think that's
There's
really clear. Thank you.
there's verses that are used like that. They're used for preaching. And
Thank you, Marge.
that's what you have to hear from the acharyas to help you understand how the verse actually is understandable. You have to understand from them. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Marge. Thank you.
Okay, Haribol. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear Krishna Prabhu, go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you.
Haribol, welcome home.
How are you, Maharaj? Thank you, Maharaj, for wonderful talk. One question, Maharaj, when we keep on listening that we are entangled in this world, truly so, and we need to come out of it. We also know after hearing so many classes and reading that only the person who is not entangled, he can pull us out, like spiritual masters or advanced devotees. Still, sometimes I feel in the devotional life also, we create our own comfort zone, and we don't want to come out of it because of probably fear of getting exposed or some discomfort. So, how to get rid of? I mean, first of all, because I'm already entangled, probably I will not even understand that I am still entangled. Maybe I'm chanting, I'm hearing classes, doing some seva, and still entangled. So, how to uh, address that situation, Maharaj?
Well, the process of devotional service means to purify the consciousness, which gives you greater amount of knowledge, greater amount of understanding of the process itself and how to apply it. Therefore, that results in making advancement. So there's no question of creating a little, what do you call it, comfort zone, because there is no comfort zone in the material world. Either you're going forward or you're going backwards. No one can stay in one place because material energy moves you away from Krishna, and the spiritual energy moves you towards Krishna. So which one are you in? If you're trying to get a little bit of both, you'll just be like a boat going one way and then the other way, back and forth. So you have to realize that getting comfortable is only possible when you're outside of the material energy. Then you have the comfort that comes by way of spiritual energy. In other words, you're free. So, yeah, if we want to try to stay on the fence, but the wind's blowing, you'll get knocked one way or the other. If you want to stay in the middle of a river that's moving, you can't. If you want to stay in one place, what you can do is you can stay in one place in a moving river if you swim against the current just at the right speed where you don't go any place. Can you imagine that? The river's raging and you're just swimming just against the raging river so you don't go backwards, but you're not going forward either. So there's your comfort zone. What's so comfortable about struggling to stay in one place?
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari.
Such a nice question. Thank you. Mark, there's a question in the chat from Dheeraj. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. August Ashur Prabhupada. There was a reference on the verse on Srimad Bhagavatam 1:11:38, where in the end of the purport it's mentioned, an unalloyed devotee is found to be fallen due to a previous material contamination. he is nevertheless to be accepted as fully transcendental because of his being engaged 100% in the devotional service of the Lord. The Lord protects him always because of his rendering service unto him, and the fallen conditioned souls, and the fallen conditions are to be considered accidental and temporary. They will vanish in no time. Does this mean that they are suffering? Does this mean that there is no suffering or the suffering is temporary when one is practicing devotional service?
Well, if you're committing sinful activities and stuff, you're suffering. But if you stop and then you get back into devotional service, it's like it never happened. Because devotional service will apichet sudaracharo bhajate mam ananyabhak sadhaveva samantagya avyasti hisa. Yeah. So Krishna doesn't see those faults if you get back in. But if you stay fallen, then yes, then you are still going to be affected by your activities, wrong activities. So his question is,
Does this mean that their suffering is temporary or no suffering when one is practicing devotional service?
there's no suffering, but when you fall out of devotional service, you put yourself in the hands of the material energy, and then you apparently suffer. What is that? You're suffering the loss of the spiritual path. So you become somewhat, again, affected by and afflicted up by the material energy. Get up. Don't stay down. And then you'll stop your suffering. Suffering is due to
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
suffering is due to separation from Krishna. That's all. Or the idea that I'm separated from Krishna. Acting in a way that separates us from Krishna. That's suffering, not just some physical pain or mental pain. Therefore, the soul is suffering in the material world because it's lost its connection with Krishna. It's the only thing it can do is suffer. Bring that connection back, and the suffering starts to disappear.
Hope that helped, Dheeraj.
That verse I quoted was the fundamental one.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
And then the next verse is even kind of facilitates or adds to it. I forgot the next verse. The 331. 330. What's 330 and 331?
Do you want me to go to the verse, Maharaj?
Yeah, because there are many people in our movement that when someone falls down, they condemn him and they ostracize him, but they don't give him. You have to see if he wants to come back and he's given up all his thing, then he should be given a chance again to act as a regular practitioner of devotional service. The same principle works. We came from a fallen condition. Now we're in devotional service. No, that's not it.
Then it might be 331 March, then probably. Is this it?
Let's see. Go to 330 again. Maybe it's 320, 329 and 330. No, it's 330.
330? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I got the wrong chapter. No, I got the wrong chapter. I'm sorry, 930. 930.
930, okay.
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
wondering, yes, okay, 9:30.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yep,
that's it.
9:30. Mm-hmm.
Even if one commits the most abominable act, if he's engaged in devotional service, he's considered to be saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Next verse.
Sorry, Marge, trying to get there. There we go. Okay, 9:31.
Shipran Bhavati Dharmatman Sasvat Chantan Nigachati Kontiya Pratijanihi Name Bhakti Pranashati. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare boldly that my devotee never perishes. So, yeah, fall down, but get back up. And then don't fall down again. That's the point. If you keep falling down and getting up, then you can't be considered in that same way. Fall down, get up, learn from your fall down and avoid it. So again, if he puts the Supreme Personality and Godhead in his heart and engages in devotional service, all his contaminations are gone. This is a very
Thank you.
fundamental verse because people, even we find it in ISKCON, people don't understand this principle. And they're easily condemning people who somehow slip.
Yep.
If someone slips, pick him up. If they don't want to get up, then they'll suffer. But if they make an effort to get up, then if they do get up, what does that mean, get up? They get back into devotional service and pick up where they left off before they fell down.
Thank you, Marge. Marge, there's another.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's something nice written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. It's included in Shivaram Maharaj's first book on Vilapa Kusumanjali towards the beginning. If you could read that, it'll blow your mind to show how merciful the Lord is. And how kind he is to welcome someone back even after they fall down. Prabhupada used to say, I'll give you an example. Prabhupada would use this example. So many children in the family, but one of the children leaves home and stays away from the father. And then all the other children are good children, they stay in the family. But then that lost child comes back. How happy is the father? He becomes even more happy to see that lost child than he does with the children that are in the family. That's Krishna.
Hope that helped, Dheeraj. Very, very nice question. Thank you. Mark, there's another question in the chat by Sukava Mataji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, thank you so much for clarifying the body and soul's nature plus Maya's illusion. But please, can you explain a bit more? When should we understand we are not this body, and when should we consider the connection of body?
We should understand as soon as we hear it. But to get the realization of it, you have to act on the spiritual platform. Theoretical knowledge about, well, I'm not this body, then what are you? Unless you will come to the realization, Jiver Sarupai Krishna Nitya Das, the eternal servant of Krishna, when you stay in that illusion that I know I'm not this body, but I'm still acting on the bodily platform. Spiritual life means to act on the spiritual platform, not on the bodily platform. Or to bring the body to the spiritual platform and spiritualize your existence. So try to understand it by hearing from the right sources, and then also learn the knowledge that you need to apply it. If I give you something to use and you don't know how to use it, I'll have to explain it to you, and then after explaining it to you, I watch and see if you're using it in the way that it should be used. Just like people, they take what do you call it? They take a hammer and they crack a nut with it. Hammers are not made, they're not nutcrackers. They can be used like that, but it's not what it's for. So we have to know how to use this body. And that knowledge comes from scripture, from Guru.
So Kava has thinking really deep. Hope that helped, Mataji.
It does. But yeah, practical application is still a bit of a struggle.
That's the result. No, that's the next stage. The practical application gives realization. Realization gives skills, abilities, transcendental awareness of transcendental knowledge, or complete transcendental knowledge. That means the knowledge that is not known, no more theory, but realized. You sit in a restaurant and you read the menu, and you think about the food, and you may even think about who's cooking it or what's in it, but you don't get the benefit of the food unless you eat it. So learn the art of application from the spiritual master. That's there. I think there's a verse that complements that. It's called third chapter in Bhagavad Gita, verse number 9, 3-9.
3-9. Oh, yeah. I'm going to share that, Maharaj.
Let's see. Yagnartha kamano yagta loka yam kama bandhana tarartha kama konte mukta sangha samachara. Read the translate.
Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage.
He's talking about material duties, prescribed duties. And then here, what does it say? Go down. This is Valvanashram. But therefore, one has to work to satisfy Vishnu. Any other work done in the material world will cause bondage, both good and evil. This practice, where does it say? It says here, this is the great art of doing work. In the beginning, this process requires very expert guidance. One should therefore act very diligently under the expert guidance of the devotee of Krishna, or under the instructions of Krishna himself. So he's talking about, this is karma yoga, how to use your material activities and dovetail it and purify it and bring into the service of the Lord. Then when it gets into the service of the Lord, then you don't act on prescribed duties anymore. You simply act on the instructions of the spiritual master. And whatever activities he gives you, then you're in the realm of bhakti. This is the art of karma yoga here. That's all. Yeah, this energizes or spiritualizes our material activities and allows them to be offered to Krishna. That's all. Krishna says the same thing in the 9th chapter. What is that verse? 927. 927. Yad karosi aranasi ajahosi dadasi natapasi tokonte tad kurushwa mararpanam. This is the, read it.
Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
No. This is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such he would not forget Krishna and in any circumstances. And Prabhupada explains it very nicely. This verse is an expansion on the other verse that we just visited. So you got to learn the art from the guru, not try to figure it out yourself. Well, nobody asks the guru because they don't want to hear the answer.
Rajit, that's why I'm asking you.
Well, this requires more than just questions and answers.
True, exactly. You are so right.
I have to talk to you in detail.
Please do. I do need that.
That is such a good point, Marge, because sometimes either we don't want to hear the answer because we know that it's not going to go the way we want, or we think that we got the answer and we know the answer and we just do it very, very wrongly.
Always the case.
The reason that the spiritual master is there is not only to engage you in some service, but to elevate your consciousness through that engagement. To help you advance, to help you develop certain qualities that are part of the character of a person in devotional service. So there's many reasons why you may get an instruction, or many benefits you may get many benefits from the same instruction. It's not so much, oh, you're doing this, so just do that. No, it's more than that. It's more than developing your consciousness in the right way, helping you develop certain qualities, spiritual qualities, helping you avoid the material entanglement. These are all part of the instruction. So where are you materially entangled, Sukava? As far as I can see, you've conquered over all of that.
Very well.
I think you were asking that question for the benefit of everybody, right?
This is for my purification and my clarification. I really, really need your advice and guidance to dive a little bit deeper now. It is the time.
Well, we can always go deeper. That's for sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very nice question. Are there any questions from devotees before we end? Yes, Kiranasa Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Maharaj. Maharaj, in similar line of question, Maharaj, as everything is energy of Krishna, in this material world, Maharaj, like we use so many things. So, for example, we are using the phone, laptops. I'm just picking up some examples, Maharaj. When we use them in the service of Krishna, can we consider as though we are using in the right manner in the service of Krishna, Maharaj? Like whatever the services we render for the spiritual activity, can we consider it as like an attachment or not for the personal gratification?
Yeah, so what pollutes the activity is trying to enjoy the results, or to try to gain some situation, some position, some accolades, some glorification from the activity. So do the activity for the pleasure of the Lord without any personal motivation. We want to please the Lord because we want to develop love for the Lord. We're attracted by His mercy. We're attracted by Him, so we want to please Him. And we're not thinking, what am I going to get out of pleasing Him?
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Marge, as he was asking the question about the different digital devices, electronic devices, I was thinking of Sri Prabhupada when I think someone questioned him about using a dictaphone or something, Marge, or typewriter or something, and in Krishna, and Prabhupada said that he's using all these machines in Krishna's service, something like that, right, Marge? That there was someone that
There's a microphone.
Microphone, yes, that was a microphone, yes, yeah. So he was using it in Krishna's service completely. Yeah. Thank you. Any other questions from devotees? Marge, I can tell Marge is getting tired because.
Well, I got some guests that just arrived, and
Oops, okay, Marge. We will definitely end right now, Marge. Thank you.
I mean we went 20 minutes over anyway.
It's fine. Marge, it is always wonderful to hear your classes because you make it so nice and so simple. And it's so nice that we get so many questions from devotees too. And we thank all of you for joining us. Vancha kraptibhyascha kripasindhabhevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Candramauli Swami ki jai. Have a wonderful day wherever you're at. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guru
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Guru
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much,
Prabhupada ki-
everyone.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Jai.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Welcome home.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much.
I was
Hare
talking to
Krishna.
Sri Devi there. Welcome home.
I know she is.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Very well.
Back in the spiritual world.
Yes, I really am. Honestly, I am. I was sitting down and I was doing something, and the Maha Mantra started playing in my head.
Mhm.
Just like that. I said, now I know why Guru Maharaj sent me back here.
Yeah, don't
Very well.
don't turn the channel. That's all.
No. No. Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Guru
Hare
Maharaj,
Krishna.
Guru Maharaj, I'll reply about the medicine in the moment on your email.
Yeah, that's what you gave me before. I just want a little more of it.
Yeah, shall I bring it this evening? I'll reply to you.
If you want, I won't be here until like 7 o'clock.
So we can come at 8 o'clock if that's okay.
It's a little late. No, don't come that late. 7 is good.
Okay, we'll try. I'll reply to you and then we'll arrange.
Or else you can bring it at another time. I still have a little supply.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare.
Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namaho Namaha Gaur Bhakta Vindaki Jai.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Hare
Thank you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Anasaya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you so much, Anasaya
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji, so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Anasuya. Hare Krishna. Made it
Hare
back in
Bol
one
Sri
piece.
Devi. Hare Krishna.